Great. Infected. Okay, up this way. Damn it! Gotta get away.
Hello YouTube, it's your boy Coach Kev, and I'm coming at you with The Last of Us 2 review. Now this video is going to be a little bit different. As you can tell, I don't have my normal intro, and I won't have my normal outro either. This review is going to be spoiler free, and I'm going to be showing one more gameplay section without me talking, just the sound of the game. It's going to be spoiler free. It's not going to have like any story element into the cutscene itself. But I want you guys to actually get a chance to watch some gameplay. I'm recording this early in the morning, so my apologies for the lack of emotion. Getting straight into it. The Last of Us 2 is one of those games where you kinda need the first in order to enjoy the sequel. Now, there's going to be some parts of the game you won't understand if you never played the first. But as far as this, as far as The Last of Us Part 2, you can still enjoy it as a standalone game if you never played the first one. I developed a pro and con chart, and we're going to try to balance them out. Give, constructive criticism, because there's too many reviews that's either overly positive and overly negative. There's a lot more of the negative. So I'm here to give a balanced one with no spoilers, but ultimately give you guys a choice to decide whether or not you would like to pick up the game yourselves. Getting to our first pro, the visuals in this game is amazing. Now I know I'm going to have some gameplay in the background, and there's probably going to be some gameplay of me just staring up and looking at the buildings and whatnot. But if you actually get your hands on this game, it is beautiful. Now, I play on a little 32-inch TV, so I can only imagine if you get you a nice 4K TV, it's probably immaculate. The visuals are stunning. Continuing with the visuals, I play on a PS4, a regular base PS4, one of the older ones. It does require a lot when you play this. My PlayStation normally does sound like a jet engine. I gotta clean it, but you don't need, it's not required to have a PS4 Pro to play this game. But it'll probably be, it'll probably be better. It's less immersion breaking because when I play on my regular PS4, the jet engine noise, kind of a deal breaker. On to our first con, the storytelling. I find it very, very lazy and annoying to do flashbacks. It is so outplayed. Oh my God. Nobody ever tells a story in the middle or towards the end and then go back to tell you the beginning of the story. Nobody does that in real life because it doesn't make sense. You're not able to comprehend it. It's just annoying. And this game has a habit of doing that. You'll understand if you guys do end up picking up the game or watch other people's walkthroughs of it, but it jumps all over the place and it's hard for you to actually to actually know what's going on, because like it'll cut and then you're like, okay, what happened to so and so? Now you're in a different place. It's just too convoluted and it's annoying and outplayed. Please, developers, stop using flashbacks. If you use it to set up something that's going to be important at the end. Don't just use it to explain the entire story. All right, back to our next pro. The stealth in this game, it's kind of hit or miss, but it's more on the hit. Now, there's segments where your AI that follows you around, they'll be right in the line of sight of an enemy and you won't get, caught, you won't get found or anything. So that kind of like, is a deal breaker. Like, I know it would be annoying if, your companion would run out and then they get shot and then boom, now everybody's on you. But then when they're standing directly at an enemy, you got to be able to at least do something, have them duck or something. But the stealth in this game is actually really good. Like, I know it sounded like I was being negative on it, but it's actually really good. I'm going to show a gameplay little section of the stealth itself.
That's all of them.
I don't get it. If there were still people around, they would have cleared this place out.
Maybe they didn't make it here.
Maybe. Let's find that gas.
All right, on to our next con. I wrote, don't care for the newer characters. Now, when like storytellers and developers, they make new characters in the sequel, it kind of takes away from like, it doesn't really take, no, let me find a way to rephrase this, because it doesn't take away from anything. It's just, I don't know the right way to describe it, because you're already in the second installment, you're involved with the main characters, and then when you try to add new people, you don't care for them. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a con in my eyes. It's like, yeah, I just can't explain this one. I'm not gonna try to lie to you guys, but I don't know. I find it annoying when you add new people into sequels or, the next installment of a game, because you're not gonna get any backstory of it, because you're gonna continue with the main protagonist. So why even give us secondary and newer characters anyway if we're gonna stay with our protagonist? Back to our next pro, we have the enemy AI. Now, this isn't just for the infected or the zombies. This is also for the other, enemies that you'll come across in the game. especially like the actual, humans that you have to fight in this game. If you pull out your pistol, they're gonna duck. But if you have your melee weapon out and you're fighting one, then somebody else is gonna try to rush you. It's actually really, really, really intuitive, and I enjoyed it because you can play most of the action sequences very differently. Like I restart the encounter, like that's an option that you can do. So that way I can try to save as many bullets as possible. So I try to normally go for the melee kills and the stealth kills, make it easier on myself so I can save bullets for later down the road. Never know when you need them, but the enemy AI is top notch. All right, continuing on. Our cons, we have repeated animations. Now, I know I probably just spoke about enemy AI and stealth segments. I probably mentioned that a little bit, but when you get the repeated same choke the enemy out or stab the enemy in the throat animations over and over and over, and it's the same one, same amount of blood spurts out, the same person gets choked out and laid out on the floor, it's the exact same one over and over. Now it could be immersion breaking to you as it was to me. You probably might be like, oh, you're overthinking it, it's too much. But when you see the same thing over and over, it's dull after a while. The first couple kills in the game, when you do that, you're like, yo, they did their thing. Then you just notice it's the exact same thing. Every segment, it's like, okay, whatever. But anyway, repeated animations, it's a con for me. We got a minor pro, and then we're going to get back into like the actual pro. Minor pro is the settings. I don't know if anybody else takes settings seriously, but like I enjoy being able to customize and button map whatever I want on my controller to the gameplay. Like, I don't know. I think it's very dope. The settings is very, very, very in-depth. I'll probably put some of that in the background as I'm talking about it, but the settings is dope. But the actual pro that I was getting to is the action and the gore. Now, I know I mentioned the repeated animations, but the action, when you get spotted and you hear the listening cue, like I'm probably gonna, when I have my gameplay in the background, you'll be able to hear the listening. When you get the cue that they seeing you or you're in their direction, and then the music starts playing and they go, over here, and they start shooting at you and you get into it. Oh yeah, it's dope. It's dope. All right. And this is going to be our last con, the pricing. Now, the game at the time of recording this, I'm doing this in one take. I'm probably not going to, go over that stuttering, but the time of recording this is less than a month since the game's been released. So it's still $65. I would say if you're not going to play this game at least 2 times, or you haven't played the first one, or you're big into multiplayer and you hate single player experiences because once you finish it, it's done. There's no replayability. I cannot recommend it. Now, if you're willing to look past that and you're willing to actually play a game for the story itself and get immersed into it, but you don't want to play that $65 price tag, trust me, I don't blame you. This game was gifted to me. Not by PlayStation, not by Naughty Dog or nothing. So this review isn't like some type of marketing scheme. But this game was gifted to me, so I didn't pay the $65 price tag. I would say wait for the price drop. And since this is The Last of Us, it's probably going to go on the PlayStation hits like the first one did. So wait for it to be around $30 to $20. That should be $30 should be the max you should pay for this. So wait for the price to drop. Avoid the spoilers then, and then get into it. But my wrapping up my final thoughts. Once again, I'm doing this one take. I know I stuttered there. I I would give this game a solid 7. I was going to give it a 7.5, but then I knocked down that 0.5 for the pricing. But everything else, it's a solid game overall. I know I didn't talk about the sound, but I'll have the soundtrack in the background. I'm going to leave you guys with some more gameplay. That was my Last of Us 2 review. If you watched it from start to end, thank you so much. I put so much time into this. Hope you guys got what you were looking for out of this review. Comment down below if this was helpful. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. Hopefully I can be a little bit more intuitive in the next game I review. But it's been your boy, Coach Kev, and I'm out. Peace.
Ellie, your mask. Here, we can share mine. No! Don't take it! Stop! Ellie, stop! Ellie, stop! What? No! Ellie, no!
Stop! I'm not infected. I'm immune. I'm not coughing, do you see? Fuck. Dina. Shit. Can you run?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's fucking go! Go!
No!
Run, Dina!
Ellie!
Right here! Don't slow down!
This way! Hurry! Fuck! Go right! Come on!
Dina! On your feet.
Hey. What do you say we rest in that theater?
That sounds so fucking good.
Almost there.